Hi, Pablo. How are you?
Hi, Sumi. I'm fine, thanks.
Pablo, this is Greta.
Hi, Greta. I'm Pablo.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Where are you from, Greta?
I'm from Germany. Where are you from?
I'm from Argentina. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hi, Mario. Do you want to go and watch a film?
Hi, Tamara. Sure, what's on?
Well, there are two action films, Mr. and Mrs. Jones and War Games, and they are both in 3D.
I've already seen Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I haven't seen War Games, but I don't really want to see an action film. What else is on?
There's that science fiction film, Robot 2075, but I've already seen it.
Oh, is it good?
Yes, it is, but I don't want to see it again. There's a romantic comedy called Forever.
I'm not sure. Are there any horror films on?
Yes, there's a Midnight Moon. It's got vampires in it.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go and watch Midnight Moon. What time is it on?
It's on at 12 o'clock or at 2:30.
Is it on this evening?
Yes, at 7:30.
Perfect. Let's go at 7:30.
Okay. Shall we meet at the cinema at 7 o'clock?
Great. See you later.
Bye.
A.
She lives next door, and she's always been really important in my life. When we were little and my mum was working, she used to look after us. She'd tell us stories about her childhood. It was like listening to fairy stories. Life was so different when she was a child. In her kitchen, she used to keep a special dish with sweets for us, and she was always baking cakes and pies. Now she doesn't bake so much. She started eating more healthily in her old age, salads and vegetables and things. It's funny how she's changed. She also goes to this special gym class for old people. It's amazing. I don't see her so often now, but she's always the same person, however much her lifestyle changes.
B.
He's 4 years older than me, and that seemed like a huge amount when we were children. When we were at the same school, we never talked to each other during school hours. But now we're older, it's a lot better. Although I'll always be the little one, and that's annoying sometimes. He's taken me to rock concerts that I wouldn't have gone to otherwise, and when he was at uni, I went to stay with him sometimes. That was really cool. It was great to see what real student life was like when I was still at school. Now that he's working, he's really busy, but we still hang out sometimes. We go to football matches together because we both support our home team. It's always good to see him.
C.
We've known each other since we were 5, and we've always got on really well. Well, apart from that time when we fell out because we both liked the same boy, but he went off with Heather Jenkins, so we made friends again quite quickly. We both liked the same kind of music and going dancing at the weekend, and when we were younger, we went out on our bikes together. At school, we're good at different things. I'm good at languages, and Laura's good at maths. That's good, though. It means that we can help each other with our homework. Next year, I'm probably going to study in London, and she's going to Manchester, but I'm sure our relationship won't change.
D.
His family moved in just a few houses down from us when I was about 10, and I still remember how excited I felt when I found out there was another boy on the street. I'd been the only boy, you see. The others were all girls. We were good friends from the beginning because we were into the same things, computers and football mostly. But we had quite a few of the same hobbies for a while. I remember making lots of models of aeroplanes one year. Another year we took up fishing. We had all the equipment and everything, and we'd spend ages down by the river. I never go fishing now. His family moved away a couple of years ago. We're still friends on Facebook, but we don't really have much contact.
E.
I can remember all the details of when we met. I was wearing a red dress and I just had my hair cut. I can even remember what music was playing the first time I saw him. I knew he was special from the beginning, and I was right. We've been together ever since. Well, it's only been 18 months, and some people say that isn't very long, but it seems like ages to me. We've got such similar personalities and so much in common. I'm sure we'll stay together forever. Good morning. Today I'm going to talk about how to study. Now, you probably think you know all about that, right?
Yes.
You've been studying for years. And I expect some of you are fantastic at studying, really organised and good at concentrating. But there's always room for improvement. And your exams aren't far away. So these tips are for all of you. Right, so what's the best way to study? Well, first of all, it's a good idea to have some kind of plan or timetable. This could be for the week or a longer revision timetable for an exam from 1 month to 6 months. Yes. If you're studying for an important exam, it's important to think long term. Draw up a timetable, but revise it often. If it's not going to plan, you may have to rethink it. Next, think about your environment. Make sure the place where you're going to study is comfortable, with enough light, air, etc. Not too hot, not too cold. Make sure there are no distracting noises around, such as television. If you think you concentrate better listening to music, experiment and see if it's really true. Some people really do seem to work better with music in the background, especially classical music. But for many people, it spoils their concentration. However, if you have to work near a TV, you might have to use headphones to play music to drown out the sound of the TV. In this case, find out what kind of music works best for you. Maybe something without words. Oh, by the way, you might think you work fine with the TV on, but again, experiment. You might be surprised at how much better you work away from a TV. Oh, and the other thing is the internet, text messages, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Forget about all of that while you're studying.
You can't be kidding.
No, really, you can ignore it for an hour or so. It won't be the end of the world if you don't reply to a message immediately. Right, planning breaks. Plan your study periods in chunks with regular breaks. Many people recommend half an hour of concentrated study, then a 10-minute break. But you can adjust this to suit you. If you study for too long at a stretch, your mind will work less effectively. So be careful. In your short break, you can give yourself a treat, such as a cup of green tea.
Disgusting.
Well, I wouldn't advise a chocolate bar as a treat. A sugar rush is not great for concentration.
Sugar rush.
Okay, so next let's think about what you do when you're studying. Some people just read through their notes or textbooks and underline in pencil or highlight important bits. If this works for you, fine. But I'd suggest that it's better to write notes of some kind, so your mind is processing the information more. This way, you are also producing material which will be useful for last-minute revision. I don't recommend very last-minute revision, by the way, but we'll come back to that later. Have a look at these examples of student notes. Which do you think are best? The first person has written important phrases at random. The next has a table with clear headings and boxes with notes. The next has summaries. And the last one has mind maps. You've got the main topic in the circle, then lines coming off the circle attached to subcategories. then more lines to further details. Mind maps are great for showing the connections between different bits of information. They seem to work in the same way the brain works. So, what do you think?
Highlighter pen usually.
To me, the first one wouldn't be very useful to come back to and use in the future. But the others are all fine. It depends on your personal preference. Mine is for mind maps. I would suggest using colours, though, and even little drawings. They can make things much more memorable. Obviously, when you are studying, the first thing to think about is whether you understand the information. And the second thing is how you are going to remember it. Let's look at some more ways of making information more memorable.